is, running it down on these niggas.
Sex, drugs, money, and murder, my nigga. You know how we did it, my nigga. Still be painting them pictures, my nigga. Ripping that raw and fucking your bitches. Sex, drugs, money, and murder. 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 Niggas, they never gon' hurt you. Niggas, they never will hurt you. Sex, drugs, money, and murder. Sex, drugs, money, and murder.
How the traps right, understand how to get that. Ran down on them niggas with a flip back. Knew I never seen another nigga live like that. I was still getting stacks back. Had to fuck around getting them packs back. Niggas.
So, ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy Bulletz Gotti. You already know what it is. Welcome. So, I'm gonna say this, man. This Puffy case is out of hand. This is no different. This is a repeat of what happened with R. Kelly. And this is what I'm saying. Puff has a strong victory win. Okay? This is a weak case. Just like the R. Kelly case was very weak, this case is very weak also. And I'm going to explain to you why it's very weak. Because if you look at this case, right, Puff is supposed to be this monster of a man that basically had Cassie, traffic and all this, right? If people know the background history of the Mann Act, right? The Mann Act was created in, 1900s? I think it was around 1910 or maybe, right 1910 or maybe the 1900s. It was around the 1900s, I remember. Because it's created for Jack Johnson. Because Jack Johnson, his wife, at the time, he was, he liked the white women. And he was going state lines and out the country with these white women. And that's how he got his federal case off of the Mann Act. He was the first one they used it. It's a racist act, right? And then from Jack Johnson in the 50s, they used it with Chuck Berry, which him going on tour, dealing with different groupies, they try to say he was trafficking girls, white girls, from state to state, right? So fast forward to 2020, I would say 2019, when R. Kelly Surviving R. Kelly came out, they brought the Mann Act back, right? For R. Kelly, right? Because if you look, the Bill Cosby case was like the first case that we're gonna convict an icon, right? Bill Cosby was the test run. It was very political with Bill Cosby because he didn't want to give Kinder Morgan his land, right? And the next thing you know, it's a whole scandal about Andrea Constant, the whole him drugging these women, and they made a whole big thing off of a comedy skit that Hannibal Buress said basically was paid to do what he did, right? Fast forward, when you look, R. Kelly, right? And this is the crazy thing about R. Kelly, right? That people don't understand with the R. Kelly situation, right? When Bill Cosby was found guilty, right? He was on his way to the, I remember he was on his way to the precinct. No, he was on his way to the county jail. And Torrey was on. And R. Kelly didn't have no case at the time. He ain't had no case. This was like the beginning of 2018. It was like May of 2018. So he didn't really have no case going on. And Torrey made a statement. I quote, now that we got Bill Cosby, we can go after R. Kelly. And it struck me when he said that. And then when he said that, the whole Mute R. Kelly thing came out. And then by December of 2018, they started showing promos for Surviving R. Kelly. Like the beginning of December of 2018, they started showing promos of Surviving R. Kelly coming out in 2019, January. Surviving R. Kelly comes out. R. Kelly is, got arrested for child support. Because he owed child support, right? Then, after all the documentary comes out of nowhere, you hear you know, the state of Chicago, the prosecutor at the time, not the federal prosecutor, but the state prosecutor said, Fox said, yes, we're going after R. Kelly because of these charges of this show, Surviving R. Kelly. And Michael Avenatti came out and said, oh, we have a new footage of R. Kelly. We have a new footage of him. And this is Michael Avenatti saying this. We have new footage of him, a new sex tape with him with an underage girl, which they never proved and never came out with. But they was saying this during the time, right? Fast forward. He does the interview with Gayle King. He's like, yo, I'm fighting for my life. You know, the two girls, one of the girls went on and told on Cal's, right? One of the girls in that case, right? And then when you look at the whole case, you just hearing a bunch of he said, she said, bunch of lies, bunch of nonsense. And it was really just, it was sad, man, how a documentary can get a man a case off of he said, she said. And it all started with Tasha K. It all started with Tasha K. Tasha K started the whole R. Kelly thing, you know, with having his brother on, with having the chick, I think, what's her name? Lisa Russell or something? Yeah, Lisa, I think her name was Lisa Russell, yeah. For having her on the platform and with having her on there, she went on to get on Surviving R. Kelly, which her name, she got on there. But she was a liar because she was on the case that he had in Chicago. And she was in the case in Chicago with the first case, you know, and they proved her to be a liar. Lisa Van Allen, that's her name. Yeah, Lisa Van Allen. She was proved to be a liar, you know, and shout out to the homie, Duswa. I be on Clubhouse with him. Duswa York. He was the one that helped R. Kelly out in the first case because she was being paid, and Ali Zoe spoke about it, is even in his book, that when they went to the video shoot, Feeling on Your Booty, they took things out the bag of video, but the video wasn't even him. He wasn't even in the video. You know what I'm saying? But they made it seem like and the thing was blurry. You couldn't even see nobody, right? And when Lisa, you know, when they went to Nikki Beach, where the video Feeling on Your Booty was shot at, they gave it to Barry Hankerson. You know, he gave it to the dude that was the journalist over at at the Chicago Tribune. But Lisa Van Allen was messing around with Ali Zoe. And with her, they was doing the extortion thing. They was trying to get $60,000 out of Kells. You know, they was really trying to get $60,000 about him, and he didn't want to pay the $60,000. So because he didn't want to pay the $60,000, they was trying to extort. You know, that's how the whole situation happened. Him in Madison Square Garden, like dudes was saying, "Oh, Kells is tripping." That's how the whole thing with the nigga henchman was in the front row with the had the dudes. Or henchman wasn't in the front row, but his dudes that was with him, that was affiliated with him, was in the front row with their things and flashing it at him. It all stems from that situation with Barry Hankerson and all of that. So fast forward, you know, Ali Zoe, you know, speaks about it in his book, and I think he spoke about it in the interview, how they went to the Feeling on Your Booty shoot and they took the bag and they was holding it over Kel's head. But it come to find out that the video wasn't true. The chick that they said was in there wasn't even in there. And then, you know, Lisa Van Allen, she got on the stand and she was proven to be a liar. So fast forward, Lisa Van Allen, she goes on Tasha K. She tells the same bullshit story. You know what I'm saying? She's a prostitute. You know what I'm saying? She's an industry prostitute. You know what I'm saying? She's been passed around through different... These is chicks that are made... They're straight up prostitutes for the industry. You know what I'm saying? And they did to do what they did to do. Blackmail and extort, you know? And what happened to Kels is foul. Because if you really read the paperwork and you really look at it, a lot of them chicks was lying, man. A lot of them was lying. You know? Hold on, my bad about that. Yeah, so it was like, it was a whole lot of lying going on. And it was a whole lot of extortion going on. And Kels wasn't going for the extortion. Kels wasn't going for none of that, what they trying to do. And they really try to make dude to be a villain. Like, he was gorilla, he was smacking chicks up. He was gorilla, he was on some gorilla pimping, trafficking. He held a chick hostage. Like, the stuff they was saying in the Surviving R. Kelly documentary was so much lies and reprehensible, and it was far from the truth. It wasn't even true. They brought a Leah name in it, where Leah been dead and gone since 2001, you know, and they brought her name in it for no reason at all. You know, it was a slander campaign, all because this man wanted his publishing, his masters, that they had to do what they did to Robin, right? Fast forward now, right? So he goes to court. You read the transcripts, it was so much lies in it. It wasn't things that was true. It was a lot of inconsistencies and a lot of the testimonies. And that's why I really do believe that he will be free. R. Kelly will be free, just like Puff will be free, because both cases are a lot of inconsistencies, a lot of lies, a lot of bullshit. But this is what they do when you don't play ball, right? So the girl got on there, I forgot her name, the one that was from Baltimore. She got on the witness stand, and this is the one that was defending. This is the one that was with the other one, Savage, yeah, with Jocelyn Savage, and damn, I forgot her name. The other one, son. I remember her. I remember both of their names, but I forgot the other one, the dark skin joint. But both of them was coming in to support him. What happened was, the other joint, she was jealous of the other joint, Jocelyn Savage. So she jealous of the other joint, because the other joint, Kels and Shorty, they in love. That's his girl, right? And I think she pregnant by him or something like that, right? They end up getting married. I'm not sure, but what Kana found out was this, that old girl parents was full of BS, right? There's a whole lot of lies going on. And even in the if you read, she came to visit him in jail. She was upset that he was dealing with the other joint. It was like a whole, like she was hating. So to get even and get him back, she went and became a witness in the case and was saying all type of lies, saying, oh, he beat her, he starved her, she didn't have no shoes, they didn't have no clothes, and she was eating feces and all this. And then it's videos of her and him, just like with Cassie and Puff, on the beach, happy, smiling, laughing. But she goes on a stand and made it seem like, oh, this dude was a monster. Like, and you look at how she was dressing, ain't look like she ain't had no clothes, ain't look like she ain't had no shoes. She was dressing in designer, had a designer bag, designer clothes. So it wasn't like she was living bad or dressing bad. But they painted that picture that this man was a horrendous monster. And it was far from the truth. And a lot of inconsistencies was in that. But they had a weak case with Kels. It was a weak case. They knew it was a weak case. That's why they trying to block and trying to stop his appeal. But I'm telling y'all, Kels is going to be free. He's going to be free. And it's going to either be the highest court, but he's going to be free. Just like how Bill Cosby, it took him a long time. They kept rejecting his appeals. They didn't want to let him go. It wasn't until they went to the highest court. The same lady that's doing the appeals for Kels was the same one that did the appeal for Bill Cosby and got him freed. Why? Because they knew that it was an unjust case. And this is double jeopardy. Kels case, Puff case, and Bill Cosby case are double jeopardy case. And basically, these are people trying to get even. Bill Cosby case was thrown out in 2004, years ago, because the first district attorney, before Brian, was Kevin Steele? Yeah, Kevin Steele. That was his name, Kevin Steele. They knew he wanted Bill Cosby because the previous district attorney of Montgomery County said that it was inconsistencies in the case. Now look, when you look at that case and then you look at R. Kelly's case, he beat his case in 2008. They wanted to go back at him again. You look at Puff case in 2001. He beat his case. He beat his case in the state of New York. They wanted to go after him again because he beat the state. You know what I'm saying? So this is all a revenge thing. This is all to get a get back. This is all to basically to make it seem like this means that these men did this and did that when, if you really look at it, they didn't do anything. They are being lied on because of who they are. You know? Now, with Kel's case, like if you look at it, they relied on the jurors to find Kel's guilty. They didn't have a strong case against R. Kelly. They relied on the jurors. They was playing shit from YouTube, the interview with Lisa Van Allen on Tasha K. They was playing Surviving R. Kelly. They relied off of a documentary full of lies and an interview with Tasha K full of lies, right? And she was doing a whole lot of things which she should have been prosecuted because basically she the tainted the case because it wasn't no real substantial evidence. And she basically is the reason why this man is in prison. She's an agent. She worked with them people. You know what I'm saying? People like Tasha K and Jaguar Wright and Cat Williams, these people work with them people. That's why they doing what they doing. So it's no different than what's going on with Puff. Now, fast forward, let's get into Puff now. So Puff case, you know, y'all seen how it started. He also, the chick went on Tasha K, was 2019, speaking about him. Oh, he kicked me and stumped me, kicked me in my stomach and treated me this way and treated me that way and I was in love with him. Chick was lying. Just lying, straight up. And she went back to him and all that, right? So the chick went on Tasha K and said all these derogatory, disparaging things about Puff, right? And did that because of, how you say, man, you know, a lot of these people they want a life and they want to be wifey. And the nigga just don't look at them as that. And there's a lot of insecurities with women as side women. So when you look at what happened with Puff, you know, with the Tasha K's, the Tisa Tills, and a lot of these gossip, but really Tasha K, because she was the one that first did it with the chick that was on there first. This is how it first started. The rumbling started. And then the Cassie lawsuit came in 2023. Then you have the whole raid on his house, right? A little bit after. Then you had the Little Rod lawsuit, right? And slowly you start seeing the wheels is turning. You start seeing a lot of things. And all because he said what he said with Earn Your Leisure when he had that conversation about Diageo, right? All because he gave his artists their masters and publishing back and he didn't sell it to them people at BR and VG, right? The people that run the music industry, right? He didn't sell it to them firms. So because he didn't sell the catalog to the firms like Dr. Dre and all of them, they wanted to go after him. Same thing with Kels. If Kels would have sold his catalog to these people, he would have his freedom right now. He would be home. Same thing with Puff. Puff sell his catalog right now, and would not went through with the lawsuit. Because he went through with the lawsuit, and because he didn't give his catalog to the firm, and because he didn't do with Dr. Dre and RZA and all these people. Because look, RZA, before he sold his Wu-Tang catalog, they was talking about, oh, RZA and them had murders and all this they was talking about. Then you stop hearing about all of that. The FBI files and all that they had on them and the investigation. You stop hearing that because he sold the catalog. You know, once you sell the catalog, now we don't look at you as a problem. So with that being said, you know, the thing with Puff is he didn't sell a catalog and he didn't take down his lawsuit with Diageo, you know? And they wanted this man in jail, man. They really wanted this man in jail for a long time. You know, people gotta understand, people lie, man. People lie. And we living in sick times, man, where people is in jail for lies. You know? It's crazy. You know? You know? People lie. You know? People lie. And what happened with Puff is a lot of people, you know, they get mad when they not around the lifestyle no more. That everybody wants to say they're a bad person, right? You see what Cal's, everybody came out and said, oh, he was this, he was foul and messed up. He even had his brother on there. And I'm like, damn, like, people be snakes, bro. People be snakes. Because that man shouldn't be in jail, bro. Let me keep it real with you. He shouldn't be in jail. You know what I'm saying? Or for lies? Or for lies? Or for lies, we locking people up. I could see if it was a strong case, but it ain't a strong case. It's just all for lies. You know what I'm saying? You know? And like Bean said, R. Kelly has to come home, man. He has to come home, bro. He has to come home. Because it's a weak case. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing that I never understood. Like, how do people sit there and wake up in their mind and feel in their system and it could go to sleep at night with knowing that they lied on somebody, knowing that they ruining somebody's life, knowing that they ruining the circumstances of people's family. You know, this is when you take out a breadwinner, you know, and people don't have the person that's the breadwinner of the family no more, and they gone. You know, how can these people survive? You know, how can they survive if the breadwinner is gone? You know, that's the thing that always, like, it disturbs me a lot, because it's like you take out the breadwinner, you taking out the foundation of the family. You know, and Puff was the foundation. The same with Cal. These are the foundation. They put a lot of time, and they put a lot of money into everything. And to see that they being lied by rumors and allegations is crazy to me. Like, no, seriously, it's crazy to me that rumors and allegations could destroy a human's character and just destroy a person. Y'all just throwing them out the wolves, you know? And the sad part is, what did Puff do to people that have this? I understand the same thing with Kels. What did these dudes do? You know, the lies that people put out there, the slander that people put out there. You know what I'm saying? It's like they didn't go off of real shit. They just went off of whatever was said, that's what it said. And then they had the nerve to say that these people is what they claiming that these people, if these people are so much what they saying they are, then show us that they are who you saying. But they haven't. You know what I'm saying? They haven't, because everything has been basically propaganda, slander, and lies. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, Tasha K was the first one to interview Lisa Van Allen before surviving R. Kelly and got her on there. You know, Tasha K was the one that interviewed the chick that was dating Puff at the time, the Asian joint that was dating Puff at the time. She had her on the channel talking about Puff did this to her, beat her up and all this, but she was back with the nigga. You know what I'm saying? Back with the nigga, but she was on the bitch Tasha K channel saying all type of derogatory, filthy things about homie, right? So these people is paid to do this. You know, they paid to do this. You know? And it's sad that, like Eddie Griffin said, you can't leave this business clean. You know what I'm saying? Like, the way they try to make Puff and R. Kelly seem like these men were sex trafficking these women. Like, these women didn't want to be there. Like, they holding these women on their will and having them do things and be inhumane. And if you read a lot of the stuff they were saying, it was like, come on, bro. Like with the thing with the chick, from Baltimore, the one that was with Kels, that was with the other chick, she talking about, oh, he made me eat feces and drink piss, and same thing they saying Cassie did. And I'm saying to myself, come on, bro. Like, y'all really gonna believe this? Like, y'all really gonna believe these chicks? Like, y'all really gonna believe that a man's gonna have them do all of this stuff? Like, come on, bro. Sometimes y'all gotta really pay attention to what people be saying, and it don't be real. It don't be real. It just be a bunch of nonsense. And it's sad that, like I said, anybody can say anything. Don't mean it's true. Don't mean it's facts. You know what I'm saying? It just means that people can believe anything. And with the Cassie thing, they making it seem like she's a fucking victim. You know what I'm saying? And she not a victim. You know what I'm saying? She was a willing participant, just like the mother chicks with Kels was willing participants. All these women was willing participants. They wasn't victims. They was doing whatever they was doing. You know what I'm saying? They was sleeping around, like, doing whatever they was doing, but they come with the boo-hoo crying. They get on these documentaries, they boo-hoo cry. They talk about, oh, he did this to me. He cheated me. Like, come on, bro. Like, you gotta really listen and pay attention. Read people body language. And when you got people like Lisa Bloom and all these other crazy chicks, like, come on, man. Y'all really gonna believe these is victims, man? Y'all really gonna believe that these people is they truth is solid? Like, come on, man. Like, come on, bro. It's not like that, bro. It's really not like that. And it's sad that, you know, people are not coming with the real deal Holyfield facts with the cases. They're just going with anything. You know what I'm saying? And they're just crucifying these two. They crucified Kels. They crucified Puff right now. They crucified Bill Cosby. You know what I mean? They now trying to crucify Smokey Robinson. This is what they do. You know? When a black man go against the grain, and he's not playing ball, they got to come with something. You know what I'm saying? They got to come with something. And the sad part is that people not realizing that they really is doing this to silence people going against the grain. Look, Pac was on top of the game, right? Mike Tyson was on top of his game. But because Mike Tyson and Pac went against the grain, they had to humble Mike and they had to humble Pac. They did Pac dirty and they did Mike dirty off of a lie. saying that these dudes like Desiree Wise, you gotta look, Desiree Wise didn't went into the hotel room knowing what she was gonna get into. She knew it was booty call hours. It was a booty call, and that's why she came to get smashed. Okay, she came to get smashed, and because she didn't want to admit that she missed her time, because let's look at it like this, right? Because I hear people trying to make it seem like, oh, no, she's not a victim, right? Because she was in a beauty pageant, right? Instead of her not missing curfew, she went to have sex with Mike. And then gonna say that he took it when he didn't take it. Why would he? You know how much bad joints Mike was smashing? That nigga had Kenya Moore. That nigga had Naomi Campbell. You name it, he had all the baddies. Mike Tyson. He had all the bad joints. Right? He was smashing all the baddies. Right? Why would he gotta take anything from you when he's smashing on the baddies? Same with Pac. Pac smashing on the baddies. These niggas smashing on the baddies in the industry. But they gotta take something from you. Same thing with Puff. Puff smashing on the baddies in the industry. R. Kelly smashing on the baddies in the industry. These dudes, they gotta take something from you, and they smashing all the bad women in the industry. Come on, bro. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Why did they have to traffic anything when they smashing everything movement? Women is throwing themselves at them. Why would they have to do any of that? And women are throwing themselves at them. Why would they? Why would they? It doesn't make any sense. But let these people tell it. These are some dudes that can't get women. Like, come on, bro. You gotta make it make sense. You know what I'm saying? And with the Puff, like I told y'all, with the Puff case, it don't make any sense. It don't make any sense. It's a lot of he said, she said, and it's a lot of propaganda, and it's felonious. It's felonious. Because there's no way that people is going to be here to tell me that, oh, this is what happened. Like, come on, bro. Come on, bro. But hey, it is what it is, man. I'm just telling y'all what I'm saying. Y'all don't gotta agree with what I'm saying. But what I'm telling y'all, it's cap a rule on all of this across the board. A lot of cap. Just being honest. It's a lot of cap. And Puff should not have no kid. Puff is going to be free because he's innocent. Him having fun, him doing his thing with all these women is not a crime. Him, you know, Cassie said out her mouth in her testimony, she provoked him. She did something to provoke him. I've been saying this. But let these people tell it, oh, he beat this woman. She was in him. She said it on the stand that she provoked this man. That she did something that she knows she was out of line. But let these people tell it, he's a monster. You know what I'm saying? But they don't, like I said, man, it's a lot of inconsistencies. Puff is innocent, just like Cavs. You know? They trying to railroad this man. They trying to railroad him. Like they railroaded R. Kelly. Like they railroaded Bill Cosby. They are trying to railroad Puff. You know? This is R. Kelly 2.0. Because once they get Puff, just like they got R. Kelly, they coming after others. They have to, look, it started with Bill Cosby, right? Then from Bill Cosby, it started with Kels. Then after Kels, now it's Puff. You see it? You know what I'm saying? Cosby was, okay, we tried it on a state level. Now let's try it on a federal level. So now they trying it on a federal level with R. Kelly and Puff. Harvey Weinstein, his case is a perfect example. They're not talking about his case. You know why? Because there was a lot of inconsistencies in Harvey Weinstein case. The girl said that Harvey Weinstein was describing his penis and saying that the man had balls, and come to find out he did not. He had his balls removed in surgery in 1995. So she lied and said something and got exposed for it, and that's why he's able to get a retrial, which he's going to be. Why? Because it was a lot of inconsistencies and a lot of lies. And I'm telling you, these people lie on a witness stand, and they are supposed to be, you supposed to call these victims? No, they're lying. And if this is what the justice system has become, not the truth and just a bunch of lies, then I feel sorry for any man out here that's accused of anything, because your life is on the behest of the system. Just keep it real. You know what I'm saying? But hey, it is what it is. Your boy Gotti, salute.